Hello, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Baltics. We are in Klaipeda, Lithuania. This is the Basketball Champions League, and it's Neptunas Klaipeda going up against Capo d'Orlando in regular season Group B action. Well, some concerned looks on the faces of some Neptunas fans. They know how important this game is coming in tonight against a team that they believe they should beat. In Group B on game day 12, we also have Élan Chalon of France going up against MHP Riese and Lewisburg. Tomorrow, Ventspils will be at home to Gaziantep, and then Iberostar Tenerife will square off against the red-hot PAOK. If you look at Group B, you have a very interesting group. No doubt. You've got Iberostar Tenerife and MHP Riese and Lewisburg flying high up at the top at 9-2. And get off your feet and applaud MHP Riese and Lewisburg. They made it through 3 qualifying rounds to get to this regular season. And here they are challenging for the Group B title. Anyway, you've got Neptunas in 3rd, and then PAOK, Ventspils, and Élan Chalon all on 5 and 6. Gaziantep still have a pulse, as do Capo d'Orlando. Believe it or not, they are not out of it at 2 and 9 when it comes to progressing to the next stage. For that to happen, you'd have to say it's mathematically possible, but hard, if not impossible. They need to win everything, and they need Ventspils to lose everything, and Gaziantep needs to lose at least one game as well for that to happen for Capo d'Orlando. Now here's the team tonight, coached by Gennaro Di Carlo, Ivkolev, Wojciechowski, Delis, the veterans in there, Kulbaka in the lineup as well, the impressive youngster. Are we going to see a lot of the young guns getting a lot of minutes as we expect from Capo d'Orlando, as happened last week? Or are we going to see them come out and throw everything but the kitchen sink at this Neptunas team? Well, for Neptunas, they are still in it. They lost a tough one last week. I'll tell you more about that in a second, but this is a good team. Fields, Johnson, Kiselius, Dylanikaitis, Sabudas, Jelonis, he's been playing great. Mikalauskas, Galdikas, Jusikas, Beliauskas, Shulskas, and Mendogas Kachinas now playing for Neptunas. So as you look at the players of Capo d'Orlando, it's been a frustrating season for them, as you might expect, with their 2 and 9 record. And for Neptunas, it's been a lot better, although they have had their share of adversity. Neptunas, of course, Mendogas, Gergionis, and Arnas Bukevicius, 2 of the best players probably in the Basketball Champions League, moving on to Lietuvos Rytas, and then Juan Palacios also leaving the club. Needs must, as they say. For Capo d'Orlando, no Inganatser tonight, so they are shorthanded, but playing for pride tonight. As you see, Wojciechowski, the Poland international. Donda's a very a good young talent. This is a Capo d'Orlando team that right now is struggling clearly for results, not only in the Basketball Champions League, but they're struggling in Italy as well, where they are 5 and 11. So it's all going horribly wrong for this team, but there's still time to salvage something really in both competitions. They're 5 and 11 in Italy, but that's just 3 games out of 8th place, and the top 8 actually qualify for the playoffs. So looks can be deceiving. So Fields comes out for Neptunas. A player that joined midway through the campaign. They needed some help in the backcourt following the departure of Gergionis. And they've also got Jerry Johnson, a veteran, Kiselius. Neptunas, of course, we watched. I had the pleasure, and I don't use that word lightly. It was a pleasure to watch their game last week at Gaziantep. Now, you would think that wouldn't be the case because both of these teams have had their ups and downs, their travails, but it turned out to be one of the best games of game day 11 And Neptunas came from behind, forced overtime, but then Gaziantep won it 98-94. So Neptunas trying to bounce back. They've had losses in 4 of their last 5 games, rather, dating back to December 5th when they still had Girgionis and Butkevicius. There's Beliauskas. We haven't seen Coach Max Vitas play some of the youngsters as much as we had grown accustomed to earlier in the season, and for whatever reason. But, you know, this is a Neptunas team that, again, coached by Kazas Mekšvidas, that is right there in the hunt. Still have time to get it right in the Basketball Champions League. They had it right. They had the upheaval, the turbulence, or the shakeup in their playing staff. So they were right at the top. Now a string of losses has dropped them down to 6-5, and with 3 games remaining, they need to get, just to be sure, a couple of wins to punch their ticket to the next round. They will also play at PAOK next week. That'll be a tough game, and then they will finish up at home to Iberostar Tenerife. Now here's a good refereeing crew. Vicente Bulto of Spain in the middle, Apostolos Kalpikas of Sweden on the left, and Mikael Proch from Poland on the right. There's Kubica. Played at the Under-19 World Championship several months ago. So Capo d'Orlando, Mario Earing, Kubica, Delis, Wojciechowski, and Vojislav Stojanovic starting at small forward. And DiCarlo, well, this is part of it. You know what? I mean, life doesn't seem fair sometimes, but you know what? It's life. It's life for a reason. You got to take it on the chin and allow it to make you stronger. And I'm sure that after this whole season is done and dusted for him and for these players, well, they'll respond one of 2 ways. They'll get better or they'll just nosedive. Anyway, Jerry Johnson, Kisielius, Sebutis, Gelionis, and Galdikas. And watch Galdikas, how he plays. His biggest issue, other than being free throw challenged, is staying on the court because he picks up fouls left, right, and center. And Kazas Mekšvidas wants him to play aggressively, but he also wants him to play smart and don't pick up cheap fouls 50 feet away from the basket. You just look at this. You look at this team, and it feels like since the departures of Butkevicius and Girgionis especially, and then just the icing on the cake was Palacios, that they're just missing perhaps that one player that can get them over the hump, because there's no question of the quality of Zelionis, in my opinion, and Sebutis. Kisielius kind of is up and down. Galdikas is a serviceable big man. But this is a game clearly that they need to win, and they will also be looking at next week as a game that they will need to win at PAOK, because coming last will be a very tough game at home here in Lithuania against Iberostar Tenerife. Now, some Baltic teams like to play the Spanish teams. Ventspils from Latvia have swept Iberostar Tenerife, so never say never. But remember, both of these teams still in the hunt coming into this game, and that has to be the mindset for them, for their coaches, for their fans. Anything is possible, especially for Neptunas. But for the fans watching back in Italy, They'll be hoping that they get out to a good start tonight. So Wojciechowski and Galdicus jump, and it's Capo d'Orlando in the dark uniforms attacking the basket to the right that have won the opening tip. Stojanovic passes back to Dallas, and a little bit of miscommunication. Looked like that was the right idea from Dallas, the Croatian. Zelionis passes it into the corner. Galdicus over to Kiselius, who hits a three, and that is the one thing that he could really help his team out with, his three-point shooting. He just has to be more consistent with that shot. Wojciechowski puts it up. Kiselius now has it, and he has Kubica on him. Not surprising after that last. Oh, Jerry Johnson finds Zelionis, who hands it off to Galdicus. Good teamwork, good passing. Earring, the young, impressive Slovakia international, dribbling up high. Earring back to Dallas. Kubica for three. And the Lithuanian playing back at home in his homeland, probably has some family members that have come out to watch him tonight. Misses from deep. Now Jerry Johnson. So Wojciechowski picks up his first personal. Zelionis gets inside, misses, follows up his shot, tries to go back up. Galdicus gets it back and ends up getting fouled on the putback. He has a certain something that makes you like Galdicus, doesn't it? I mean, he's not flashy, but clearly he's a hard worker, and he's the captain, and he plays with a lot of spirit out there, and already a factor offensively. And already makes a free throw. So it's been a great start for him. Now, sloppy play. Kiselius comes up with a steal. And Capo d'Orlando are sleepwalking through the first quarter. You see a turnover like that, and it doesn't bode well for your chances the rest of the game. Let's listen to Coach DiCarlo. Okay, he's going to draw.
Ball to Mario. Give and go. And we run. Okay. Over their side. Second team. We are red.
Look at that. 4-6 for Neptunas.
Guys, don't go. They have one big guy here and one big guy here after all. Don't rotate with him because they cut inside. So, just the ball right here. I want defense of the corner. Masud! Hey, guys! Hey, yeah! Ball! We got ball! Hey! Hey!
Well, it is an inauspicious start for the team in blue. And a great start for Neptunas. They need a game like this where they can come out and roll. They played Gaziantep last week, but that was a much better Gaziantep with some reinforcements that came out and really made life difficult for them. Finally, coming out of the timeout, Kubica drills a three-pointer. How about that? Kubica in front of the home folk. Sebutis fouled by Stojanovic, the 20-year-old Serbian. And Sebutis makes the first. And Sebutis makes both free throws. So Earring brings it back up the floor. And presumably we'll look for Kubica, who just drilled his first three. Earring gets it to Wojciechowski. Stojanovic wide open for three. Jared Johnson. Inside he goes. Out to Jared Johnson again. We're in no rush. And this time Galdikas doesn't make it, but Zelionis out-hustles him to the rebound. Kubica almost forces a turnover, and then the pass from Kisielius a little bit too hard for Galdikas. And the ball fumbled from Wojciechowski, but then he hands it off to Dallas. It's interesting. I remember watching in Dubai, Stojanovic, Vojislav Stojanovic, now playing for Capo d'Orlando. He was a great talent then. Here he is bursting onto the scene now. Nice drive from Zelionis. Look at the Neptunas faithful. I mean, these guys love their basketball team. And that was a great drive from Zelionis, who, I have to say, I'm a fan of Zelionis. He's been fantastic. Seems to be growing in confidence. Had that huge game at his former club, Ventspils, who he played for last season. And he brings it every week. Stojanovic draws the foul. So he played against PAOK already, Stojanovic, for this club, but he did not play against Iberostar Tenerife. Beautiful release there from Dallas right at the free throw line. And a kick, so they will reset it. Back to Stojanovic. He's played 5 games in Italy, so only joined them recently. Sebutis pulls up, misses badly to the left. Here's Stojanovic. No-look pass, and it was either Zelionis or Galdikas that got a hand on it to knock it out of bounds. Now the drive, Earring hands it off. Ikovlev hits the long jump shot. And that was indeed a three-pointer, and the deficit has been trimmed to just 4. Sebutis, his pass to Galdikas. Again, off the hands of Galdikas. And Kazis Maxvidas hates seeing the turnovers, especially on very simple plays. And here was Ikovlev saying, you're going to leave me open, you're going to pay the price. Kubica pulls up, and that time got no love from the rim. Now Zelionis turns, puts it up, and gets it to go, kind of like you do on the playground. No look, Earring flies in and draws the foul. Is it Galdicus? He's a foul magnet. So it was indeed on Galdicus. Earring misses the first. Makes the second. And the drive and the basket is good from Galdicus. Ikovlev nods his head to say, yep, I'm guilty as charged. Fields checks into the game for his first action. And Galdicus makes it. So Maxvidas wanting to see his team open up a big lead here, if possible. Put this team away early is probably what he's thinking. Earring penetrates, puts it up high off the glass and in. Great job from him driving down the left side of the lane. 3 of 4 now, Capo d'Orlando inside the arc, 6 of 9 for the home team. Galdicus back to the basket, turns, puts it up, and it's good. No resistance whatsoever there. Well, he's not the tallest center out there, but he certainly has some beef. He's got some muscle. Now Dallas. And Zelionis goes up for the rebound. Fields fouled by Earring. Vytautas Šulskas checks into the game for his first action. And Fields off the front of the rim. Second one is good. Drive, oh, nice play, nice footwork that time from Dallas. Capo d'Orlando just trying to stay within striking distance right now. Šulskas catches and shoots. Hasn't really found his stride yet in the Basketball Champions League this season. He was, oh, beautiful drive from Fields and another three-point play opportunity. Yeah, he was definitely bumped by Dallas. And he stayed with it. So a chance for Neptunas to equal their biggest lead of the game of 10 points. So the three-point play takes it up to 25-15. 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. And if you're giving up 25 points already, it doesn't say much about your defense. Galdica's bounce pass. Oh, the dunk! Beautiful teamwork, passing Galdikas to Zelionis. Ikovlev fumbles it out of bounds. And I think they'll be lucky if they hold on to it. Look at this. Great hustle. Zelionis was there, giving go, takes it all the way. He just plays with so much fire and intensity, determination, enthusiasm. Zelionis. Kubica drives in, loses it as he goes up, and Vicente Bolto calls the foul. Kubica at the line, and the 20-year-old makes the free throw, the first one. Now a chance to knot it. Wojciechowski getting ready to re-enter the game. And the shot is good. Free throw is good. Maynard into the game, number 3 for Capo d'Orlando. Hand off, and Zelionis scores again. 29 points for Neptunas. Now the drive, Kubica puts it up. He banks it in. And now the ball goes back, and Šulskas takes the contact, puts it up and in. 31 points in the first quarter for Neptunas. And Kubica misses from deep. Fields another breakaway. Zelionis. And Coach DiCarlo can't wait for the end of the quarter. He's got to call a timeout. It is 33-19. Fields alertly looking up ahead to Zelionis, who releases early and gets the easy 2.
Step up. Step up. If they want to switch, read. If not,
6 fast break points for Neptunas Klaipeda. They have taken a 14-point lead.
Guys, we stop to play defense. We stop to play defense. We are here at 33. In any way. One good foul. We're ready.
8 assists for Neptunas Klaipeda. Capo d'Orlando as well have 4, but you can tell it is not going well for Capo d'Orlando. And perhaps carrying the hangover from last week's performance at home when they lost to Iberostar Tenerife 106-59. I mean, that was an annihilation. Here it is again, the hustle. Zelionis picks it up, goes down the lane and dunks it, and well, full marks to him. Got the bit between the teeth coming out. And you could also hear Coach DiCarlo saying, listen, guys, we got to start playing some defense. Where's our D? The long one, no good. Another chance, this one from Maynor. Ucikas doesn't even have to get it. It goes out of bounds. And quickly it goes to Ucikas. And a foul called, I think it's on Delinitakaitis. Delinitakaitis comes into the game. His team's already cruising. He's like, no problem, guys. I got this. He picks up a quick foul with 4.9 seconds to go. They had one to give. And Wojciechowski, final seconds ticking off the clock. Had a good look. But that completes a very frustrating last couple of minutes as Capo d'Orlando go to the bench down 35-19. See the stats there, I mean, just 13 of 16 inside the arc for Neptunas Klaipeda. Also 6 of 8 at the free throw line. I mean, it is just almost embarrassing, really, at this stage for Capo d'Orlando. They've got to up it defensively, or this is potentially a record score in the Basketball Champions League. And remember, we've already seen Neptunas put some serious points on the board this season, but that was when they were, you would argue, at full strength, when they won 114-73 in this very arena against Gaziantep. And that was back on November 1st. But you do your math, and, well, 4 times 35, that adds up to 140 if you average that over the course of the game. And that would not be something that the Capo d'Orlando fans or coach would, well, they wouldn't digest that very well, that's for sure. So the second quarter now underway, and Neptunas with a chance, it seems, to lower the boom here and put this thing beyond on doubt. Second foul on Earing. And the drive, are they going to count the basket or... Kisielius. So Kisielius was fouled, and foul was called on Maynor. Earing looks, goes baseline, throws it away into the hands of Ucikas. Šulskas hands it off to Jusikas, and he will go to the line. Good pass. Wojciechowski goes out. Jusikas misses the first one. And misses the second. Earring puts on the deck Delas. Long one off the back of the iron. Kubica goes in, knocks it out to mid-court. Šulskas for three. Good. Well, maybe that'll, or excuse me, Delinikaitis. Delas turns. So the foul called on Jusikas, his first. And Stojanovic comes back into the game. Remember, Capo d'Orlando mathematically still alive. Shot at the postseason for the playoffs if they can win this game, and Delas gets it down low to get the deficit back under 20. Long one, no good. And a lot of applause for Kachinas. Back in the game. Stojanovic going to work against Jusikas, and Kachinas gets a hand on it. Kachinas played for this team last year as well. He actually played for Frank Martin at South Carolina. If you're watching in the States. South Carolina went on that memorable run last year. And the drive and the mid-range jumper is good from Jusikas. Excuse me, from Šulskas. 42-21. Kubica for three. Front back of the rim. Fields with the rebound. Hands it off, and Delas goes up for the block. Fields spins, takes the bump from Kubica. Fields Earring now. Bounce pass. Kulpika goes up for the dunk, but was denied. Holds his face like he may have received a knock. Fields drives in. And they are letting him play a little bit now. Beliauskas is going to come in, as well as Sebudas. Also coming in for Neptunas is Galipo, one of their youngsters. So I'm not sure if that's an indication of anything, but just 18 years of age, getting a chance to play here in the Basketball Champions League with his team really struggling. Sebudas puts it up. There's a foul before that. Sebudas misses his free throw. And you never are comfortable, are you, if you're a coach? You're up 21. You're taking on a team that quite clearly is having a really tough season. And you're still a little bit uneasy because you fear until this game is over, a comeback can happen. And probably that's the right way to be. Although the signs of that comeback right now aren't there to be seen. And the shot is good from the corner from Beliauskas. Galipo gets blocked, gets the ball back, passes to Earring, who splits the D, goes in. Dellis there with the follow. And it goes, and beautiful finish from Kachinas. Mendoga's Kachinas. Dellas hits the long jump shot. That was a 2. And Beliauskas hits another three-pointer. Well, you're looking at a potential, 60 points certainly looks within reach here, if not 65 or 70 for halftime. And Capo d'Orlando could be on the receiving end of another huge defeat for the second week in a row. Beliauskas again, rattles it in. Boy, this is just devastating, really. I mean, it's 29 points, almost a 30-point lead in the first half. So Janovic. Stojanovic, good strong move. Split the D and went in hard. Jump shot from Fields. Ucikas with the rebound. Out to Beliauskas, another one for him. And Mikalauskas also in the game now, number 20, another of the youngsters. And another three-pointer is good. This one from Kachinas. And Kulbaka gets swatted by Ucikas. Fields was going to make the pass. Thought he had a better look, and the Cardinal sin violated there, or committed by Delas, inbounding the ball underneath their basket and led to an easy one. 59-27. Neptunas just have blown this thing wide open. And another opportunity. Mendoga's catching us. Fields. Beliauskas. Fields. Right. Just to the left. Mikalauskas grabs the rebound. Fields flies in. Oh, throws it high off the backboard and in. He was met by two defenders and still scored. And nice jump shot from Kulbaka. Gets you back to a 61-30 deficit. Beliauskas has been sparking this team since he came out, although they were already on fire. Fields is just running rings around Capo d'Orlando at this juncture. Kulbaka up high over the earring. And that was an air ball from the young Slovakia international. So Neptunas Klaipeda look to turn the screw even more. I don't see what the point is at this stage of holding it for one shot, to be honest. Fields dribbles between the legs. Mikalauskas for three. Good arc. He drills it. 36 points, the advantage. And a crestfallen, almost demoralized Capo d'Orlando walk off the court. Neptunas Klaipeda on their way, it seems, to a big and very important win. So 20 minutes away from the end is Neptunas up by 36, 18 of 24 inside the arc, 7 of 13 from deep, 9 of 14 at the line. I mean, with numbers like that, you're not going to lose. They are just winning in all aspects of the game. And right now, you almost get a sense that this is a teaching moment for DiCarlo and some of the youngsters of Capo d'Orlando, who are just seeing their season kind of career out of control here in Lithuania. 11 points for Beliauskas coming off the bench there late, leads the way. Delas has 12 for Capo d'Orlando. Ucikas has the 2 blocks. Kisielius has the 1 turnover. You could almost, if you're Neptunas, turn it over to the young guns the rest of the way get them some valuable court time. See Zelionis and Galdikas each with 10 points. Kubica has 10. But this Capo d'Orlando team going nowhere fast here in Lithuania. It has been a horror show for them. They trail 66-30 at halftime.
esate toks nemėgstamas žiūrovas kitur, ne? Kažką padarė, kažkam skolingas? Nėra. Vienas kamuolėlis kažkur paklydo. Gerai, tas, kas parneš kamuolėlį, galės gauti šį prizą. Keliaujame, apnaudosime jūs aikštės viduryje. Taigi trečio kamuolėlio, kuris per plauką pateko į superfinalą, laukia pagrindinis prizas, na, o pagodos prizeliai keliauja jums. 2 valandos atostogų parke 2 asmenims, kamuolėlį aš paimsiu ir pirmoji vieta. Visa diena atostogų parke sveikiname, gero krepšinio, galite užimti vietas ir priminsiu, jūs turite kamuolėlį. Keliaujame, iškeisime jį į išpigertuvę. Einam jaunuolį. Pagavot, užlaikėt, prizas yra. Taigi linkime gero krepšinio toje pusėje, pergalės ir laukite dar vienos pertraukėlės tarp kelių, kuomet galėsite įsikeisti kamuoliukus į mūsų partnerio sporto klubo Impuls kvietimus.
Well, there you see, folks. Laurenius Beliauskas having himself a big game tonight for Neptunas, coming off the bench really when the game was already in hand, but making the most of it with coming out and hitting some threes and just playing well all the way around. But really, I mean, who hasn't played well tonight for Neptunas? And there hasn't really been much defense, in all honesty. Maybe a little bit early on, but we've seen Neptunas just kind of traipse down the court. Kubica, of course, with 10 points. He doesn't care about that. He just looks extremely unhappy, almost disillusioned, and you can probably say that it makes it even more difficult for him to be getting getting really beaten badly back in his homeland. I mean, he knows probably there's some people that have come out to watch him play tonight. His name will be the first that everybody will check in the box score, whether it's family, friends, people from his hometown. And it just hasn't happened really for his team tonight, as they look to be going out of the competition if they lose tonight without question. Kubica comes from Marijampolės, Lithuania.
Marietto, Boia, Arni, Kuba e Denis. We start with the new. Marietto, Arni, Kuba e...
So where do you go from here if you're Capo d'Orlando? You gotta play some defense, and in some ways this is where you find out what a player's made of, what kind of attitude he comes out with and plays in the second half. When you're getting beat by 36, have they wounded your pride? Are you going to come out and give everything? So Wojciechowski comes out. DiCarlo, what must be going on in his mind? Jerry Johnson comes out. And even before the game, I mean, with the myriad of possibilities, Neptunas with a win, Kazas Makšvydas was telling everybody, you know, we win this game, we're 95% sure of moving into that next round in terms of getting to that plateau of 7 wins would be pretty much what they need. Even though they would still have a couple of games left, they would improve to 7-5. So we shall see how this unfolds the rest of the way. But clearly, Makšvydas has told his guys to go out and play like the game is 0-0. Zelionis follows up his own miss and scores. And really, if a team deserves a break, you'd have to say it's Neptunas. They lost a tough one last week in overtime despite a great comeback. And they had the brilliant start to the season, but kind of became unstuck following the departures of 3 key players. Not because they didn't want them. It was just, sometimes you have to make decisions based on the financial health of the club. And, well, here they are showing some great fighting spirit. And now the turnover, however, goes into the hands of Kubica. Earring bricks it. Wojciechowski gets the rebound and puts it up and in. $36 points, the deficit. Jerry Johnson goes in, turns it over again. Kovlev. That's almost unsportsmanlike. Was Galdikas even playing the ball there? And why do you commit the foul up 36? That's a good question. Especially if you're Galdikas and you have a hard time staying on the floor. You don't want to be giving away fouls at any time. Wojciechowski. Well, at least the foul prevented probably Capo d'Orlando from scoring. So from that standpoint, it was mission accomplished. Three-pointer from Jared Johnson. Alley-oop pass. Oh, kind of something coming out of nowhere. Good aggressive play from Capo d'Orlando. And Wojciechowski missed that one. Here's Dallas coming back to the bench late. Reach and a foul called. And ball goes out of bounds back to Capo d'Orlando. So this hasn't been a thing of beauty here the third quarter for the home team. Over to Kubica. And the follow and the basket from Wojciechowski. Stojanovic made that pass into the corner. Jerry Johnson, zigzag bounce pass. Galdic is much better. Doesn't finish, but it was the right play. And the pass knocked away by Šilskas. I have to say, Vytautas Šilskas, one of the favorites for many of those watching the Basketball Champions League, many of the neutrals, the way he played last season. He was really solid with Juventus Utena. Earring. And just did not have quite enough time. Chance of Lietuva. Lithuania. One of the guys missed with the runner. Now Earring goes behind his back, and Jerry Johnson commits a foul. See that Kovalev on the previous trip did not get the shot off in time. And nice shot off the glass. So Janovic. Šilskas gets the bump from Kubica. Šilskas puts up a three. And Wojciechowski with the rebound, hands it off to Stojanovic. Spins. Kubica. Brought some rain, but didn't get the ball to go in. Šilskas Oh, kind of lost his footing there. Kasielis now gets it to Galdicus. Outside to Delanikaitis for three. Well, that stops the run. Stojanovic drives in, scores with the left hand. A little bit of Matador defense that time from Neptunas. That's what he does well. He puts it on the deck and gets to the basket. However, Delanikaitis answers with a three. 2 in a row for him. So Galdicus makes a pest of himself on offense out on the perimeter. So let's hear Coach DiCarlo. Dallas with 12 points.
If we had to choose between under and over, we prefer to stay over. We are going up and down and we are tired. Okay?
Or ball big roll up. If zone, top side, so Thomas running here, line is here.
See Zelionis with the 12 points, 5 rebounds.
Let's go, let's go.
Kovlev out to Earring, hits a three. Johnson and Stojanovic with the rebound. I guess if you're Capo d'Orlando, you want to come out and play some D, get the rebounds, just chip away, and maybe you give yourself a chance for a miracle comeback. Kubica scores again. Well, to DiCarlo's credit, he's telling his guys to play defense, shouting, trying to be enthusiastic. Stojanovic has it. Over to Earring, now at Kovlev. And Delanikaitis commits the foul. Earring has it. Earring puts it up and just hits it off the iron. Bounce pass gets away from Utsikas. Kachinas comes back into the game. Earring looks for a little bit of space again. Kovlev trying to spot up. And Earring, beautiful tap in from Kubica, drifts in. And back to a 31-point deficit now for Capo d'Orlando. Kiselias. And the push on Kachinas on Kubica. So Neptunas already over the limit, and another chance for Capo d'Orlando to make that scoreline look a little more respectable. And it needs some work. Kubica makes both. Delinikaitis knocks it out. Beliauskas has it. And Earring reaches in, takes it away. 1:20 remaining. Stoyan misses, and Stojanovic was off target with that one. So definitely the brakes have been put on somewhat here for this for the home team. So 29-point deficit for Capo d'Orlando. Beliauskas puts up another three, hits it 80-48. Hasn't even played 9 minutes, and he's already got the 14 points. And right at the end, Stojanovic banks it in. So he goes to the bench. His team trails 80-50, 10 minutes remaining. (19 of 28) inside the arc, 11 of 22 for Neptunas. Now 16 of 27 for Capo d'Orlando inside the arc. Here's some of the highlights. Wachkowski with that putback fadeaway jump shot in the lane. Also, Jerry Johnson getting in on the act tonight from three-point range. If there's one thing that Neptunas have done well tonight, is shoot the three. They're 11 of 22 from three-point range, as you saw on that stat. And Beliauskas leading the way with 4 made three-pointers. Delinikaitis has hit 3. And both Johnson and Kiselias, as well as Mikalauskas and Kachinas, all have hit 1 three-pointer.
Step by step. Okay? Keep keep on playing this way. Come on, guys. Hey.
You can see motivation seems to be an issue with Capo d'Orlando. They did win that quarter, 20-14. So there's the man of the hour, Beliauskas. Fields has it and throws the ball out of bounds. They may overrule this. Nope. The ruling is correct. Fields thought that the ball was batted out of bounds by the defense. Yakovlev just inside the top of the key, and Yuchikas grabs the rebound. So this does put Neptunas in a in a favorable position, but you've got to remember that they're going to have some couple of tough games coming up here at the end of the season, and the key for them, they'll try to build on this, no doubt. I mean, the three-pointer no good from Beliauskas. Fields gets the rebound. They'll be at home again once at the end of the season against Iberostar Tenerife, and but next week they'll be at PAOK Thessaloniki, and that'll be a game that they'll be looking to get another win. They beat them earlier in the season. That was the famous game when Arnas Bukevicius, when he was with the team, got the triple-double. They won that game 82-69. But PAOK have, since that time, been playing very well. Certainly of late, they've given themselves a chance to get to the playoffs. And Yuchikas scores down low. If you look at the standings, if you go to the Champions League .basketball website, and let me tell you, folks, that is a great website. Champions League, all written together, .basketball. You get all the information about the teams, the players. So you go there and you look at PAOK, who will be the opponents of Neptunas next week, remember, in Greece. And you can find out, how their season has gone. And they've won their last 3 games in a row. So the only thing is with PAOK, they've beaten Gaziantep at Gaziantep. They've won at home over Capo d'Orlando, and then they've won at home over Lanchelon. So it's not like they're beating the best teams in the competition. Beliauskas picks up the foul. Maynor comes back into the game. Of course, the first thing I do when I roll out of bed in the morning is I just take a gander. I take a quick look at the Basketball Champions League app just to make sure I know what's going on. Basketball CL. See if anything's been happening in the competition that you might want to know about. And so it's great. This day and age, you can see all the videos and press conferences. There will be a press conference after this game, and those tend to be quite lively. So you might want to tune into one of those and see what Coach Max Vitas has to say, and also DiCarlo. And also they'll each have a player there. Here's Kisielius short. He hit that early 3 that kind of helped set the tone for the route, but hasn't done much since. Now Maynor. Passes to the corner. Earring hits a 3. 82-53. Yakovlev sneaks in there, knocks the ball away. what you don't want to happen if you're Neptunas is to kind of finish this game playing poorly and then have that carry into your next domestic game. You'd like to finish playing well, but it's one of those things where you've already opened up a huge lead, and it's only natural that you maybe take your foot off the pedal. Wojciechowski airballs it. You're also in one of those situations, if you're Neptunas, you're like, well, if we keep piling it on, some people might say, well, why do we do that? You already had the game in hand. No need to rub it in. So I think you need to just go out and be professional. Play hard for 40 minutes. Especially if you're the young guys and you got a chance to shine. And also Schultzkes. Nice move from Schultzkes. Doesn't finish, however. That was his jump stop that left him a wide open bank shot, but then he missed it from about a couple of meters. Now Kubica turns it over into the hands of Fields. Schultzkes drives in and takes the foul from Stojanovic. Stojanovic started the season in Serbia with FMP. He's got about 7 games under his belt here in with the Italians, with the Sicilians. Eric Maynor animatedly talking to his coach. All does not look well. That's an understatement for Capo d'Orlando right now. They had to qualify. They had to go through the qualifying rounds to get into the competition. Ball knocked out of bounds. Eric Maynor comes from my neck of the woods, North Carolina. Actually played at Virginia Commonwealth. Played several years in the NBA as well, so he's been around. And good hustle from Schultzkes. Fans want to see this team get to 100. And a sportsmanlike foul has been called on Kovalev. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he nudged him out of bounds right in front of the referee. If you are going to do that, don't do it right in front of the referee. Schultzkes makes the first one. Second one is good as well. Jump shot no good. Here's Maynor. Oh, beautiful play by Maynor. Just kind of drifts in, puts it up and in. I mean, with a skillful play like that, you'd have to wonder. Just give him the keys and let him go to work. Let him drive you. Answer. Kovalev doesn't get a hand in the face of Schultzkes. And this is a game, for example, where Schultzkes can get the feel back, get his rhythm back. So, there are things that coaches over there on the sidelines will be looking for, and Schultzkes will want to take advantage of that opportunity. Good hustle back from Kubica. Knocks it out of bounds. Jucikas is going to re-enter the game, as is Beliauskas. Galdikas goes out as well as Fields. And Sabutis looks like he's already got his street jacket on. What's going on over there, Rinaldus? And the foul is called. So Capo d'Orlando, after this, will play at home against Ventspils, and that's an important game in the grand scheme of things. Ventspils trying to get into the playoffs, so they need to come out and give the grade A effort there. There's Jucikas. Wojciechowski gets the rebound, fouled by Jucikas. And also they'll play at MHP Riesen Lewisburg, who are battling it out with the Iberostar Tenerife for first place. Shot missed and a foul. And now Wojciechowski talking to his teammate, rather animated with some animation. Kubica pulls up. Now Šulskas. Open floor. Delanakaitis gives it back to Šulskas. Three is good. Well, Vytautas Šulskas now with 14 points. And that's his second three-pointer. He's 2 of 4 from deep. Stojanovic drives in. So this result is going to send the good people of Klaipeda off into the dark night with smiles on the faces. And sloppy play. Earring comes in, takes it away. Oh, and Kubica goes up for the putback jam. And here's it from his compatriots. Some applause. Kubica says, I'm better than this. I don't want to be losing 92 to 57. And with that basket, Kubica has gone to 18 points. He's also got 7 rebounds. Alley-oop pass, and Jucikas couldn't quite get up for the dunk, so he went up old school. Old school alley-oop, just laying it up and in. Kubica alley-oop to Wojciechowski, and Jucikas saw that coming. Uh-oh, alley-oop! Now, when was the last time you saw 3 alley-oop attempts in a row? Mikalauskas converting that one. Beliauskas with his head up to Delanakaitis. And Mikalauskas got just enough air to be able to put that one down. And DiCarlo calls timeout.
Perciò devi resistere. Non mi interessa correre adesso. Metà campo, ma voglio difendere. I don't need to run a lot. Play hardcore, but I want that we keep on playing deep. Until the end. You are changing pace. One more time.
Well, you heard DiCarlo. Now there's a look at the bench. DiCarlo challenging his players to play defense. But, you know, the looks on the faces of the players is there seems to be kind of a disconnect for however you want to interpret that. And kind of like, I mean, it happens. You know, seasons don't go well. Who's to blame? Well, everybody's to blame. Can't just blame the coach. Earring, that's good. 96-60. Well, this has just been a blowout, really, from the beginning, hasn't it? Well, so Janovic has it, crosses midcourt, flies in high off the glass. How many times have we seen him drive hard to the basket and score like that? Plenty. Another early game tonight. Pinar Karšiaka winning at home in a really important Group A game over UKAM Murcia, 63-54 with just under 7 minutes remaining. Šulskas, his third three-pointer of the game. And remember what I was talking about, folks. He hasn't really been in top form. He hasn't really had any type of rhythm, certainly in the Basketball Champions League. But he might just be finding something now. 17 points for him. 3 of 5 from deep. And you can hear the crowd. They want to see the 100. There's a buzz in the crowd right now. They want to see the 100-1, or they want to see the 101 or the 102. They want to see at least 3 digits. And that is the 4th team foul on Capo d'Orlando. And Yuchikos, the ball goes off of him. So that's going to hurt their chances of getting to the century mark. Stojanovic again drives in, misses the shot. Ikovlev with the rebound. Turns, puts it up, and Šulskas able to throw it off of Wojciechowski. So this could be the last roll of the dice for Neptunas. And will they even attempt it? The crowd wants the 100, but the coach might be saying, call off the dogs. There's no need. And you can hear some whistles. But that's how it's going to be. The coach makes the decision. Sportsmanship prevails. And his team wins it 99-62. And that was a good call by Kazis Makšvytis. No need to embarrass Capo d'Orlando any more than they already have. They win it 99-62. Well, I didn't see Donda tonight. He had impressed the last time that I'd seen him. Anyway, Neptunas, 22 of 34 inside the arc, 19 of 37 for Capo d'Orlando, 14 of 29 from three-point range for Neptunas. Well, if they shoot that well from deep, they'll have a chance against anybody. Galdicus, he says, we're 95% in. I like it. And the fans like it. Perhaps some of the wives and girlfriends of the players like it. The coach likes it. Sebutis likes it. Šulskas, how about that? Finished with a team high 17 points. Fields 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Kubica with 18 points, 7 rebounds in a losing effort. And then Yusikos all over the place. 3 steals, 2 blocks, 3 turnovers. Earring with 2 steals, a block for Delas. And Earring had the 3 turnovers. Beliauskas with the 14, Zelionis with the 12. And there is Galdicus, all smiles as El Capitan walks off the court. And That's my favorite thing, to see the players after the game go up and talk to the fans. So here are the standings as we speak. Neptunas looking much better now towards the playoffs, 7-5, and Capo d'Orlando are well and truly out of it at 2-10. So the race is on, nevertheless, for that fourth spot, and you want to make sure you keep an eye on events the rest of the way. And as a reminder, in Group B, Elan Chalon and MHP Riesen Louisburg play tonight in France, so that will have an impact on proceedings, no doubt about it, on the final standings. So tough night for DiCarlo, tough night for Capo d'Orlando. Almost have to say easy night. This is probably the easiest of all the wins that this team has had. Neptunas Klaipeda, and again, it couldn't have come at a better time. They'd had some tough times. They'd lost last week at Gaziantep after overtime. And if they can at least get to the playoffs and give themselves a chance in this competition to do something, I mean, that's what they're out to do. You know, just survive the regular season and then let the chips fall where they may. Who knows? Maybe this Neptunas team can go out and surprise some people. For example, I remember last year how many people anticipated Umanorai Venezia beating in the quarterfinals Pinar Karšiaka to get to the Final Four. And even then, who could have predicted what happened with Banvit getting that last second layup from Jordan Theodore on a fast break to beat MHP Riesen Louisburg in Germany to advance to the playoffs. So you've got the regular season, and then you've got the postseason, the playoffs, and these are two distinctly different seasons, and magical things tend to happen once you get to the postseason as you get closer and closer to the promised land. Here was Kubica with his follow and jam. And then that was the answer from Eutychus. And then again, Mikalauskas got in on the alley-oop act there at the end. So that's how it finishes, folks. 99-62, Neptunas Klaipeda win it over Capo d'Orlando. Thanks for watching.